Hi all, welcome to my YouTube channel Easy Coding with Ankit. Today's topic is power x to the power of n. Let's get started. What we have to do, we have to calculate the power of number x raised to n. There are different approaches. First is we can directly multiply x n time that will give us the power, but time complexity of this is n big O of n. We have another approach as well. We can um, divide divide n with 2 and check if it is odd or even. If it is even, then we can divide n divided by 2, and whatever value we'll get, let's say you are considering n is 5, then 5 divided by 2 is 2. So we can take the power of 2, and that value we can multiply 2 times. If it is odd, then that with that value we can multiply one more x, that is 2 here right now. So these two approaches there. So in case of second approach, the time complexity of b is big O of log n. So that is better instead of if you are going with approach 1. Let's write the code for this. I have taken two variable x is equal to 2 and n is equal to 5. I will create a separate method, public static int power int x comma int n. First, I will write the code for approach 1. For that, I will create one variable power equal to 1, and then one for loop which will start from 1 int I equal to 1 till I is less than or equal to n, then I plus plus. Inside this for loop, I will multiply power with power into x. So that till that time I will multiply, and at the last I will return this temporary variable power. Let's call this method and see what are all the results we are getting. Power xn. Let's call this method. You can see I'm getting 32, which is correct. And as we discussed, time complexity of this logic is big of n, because we are iterating in for loop, we are iterating from 1 till n. Let's take another approach, second approach, public static int power. I will name it power 1 int x comma int n. Here first I told we will have to generate a value with the same function. Instead of n, it will be n divided by 2. So I will call p n by 2 equal to power x comma n divided by 2. So I will call the same method with value instead of n, it will be we are passing n by 2. And after that we will check if n is even or odd. If n is even, that means we will multiply this value 2 times, pnb into pnb2, and we will return the value. If it is odd, if n is odd, then we have to multiply one more time x. So we'll do nb2 into nb2, and one more time we have to multiply x. This we have to multiply. We as we are calling this method again, that means we are using recursion, and because recursion should have some base case. So we know if whenever n value is 0 and equal to 0, that time the value power of x will be 1. One more condition, if n is equal to 1, then the power of x will be 1, so we can return x. So these two base condition we have added. Now let's call this method. Instead of power, I will call power 1 and see what value I'm getting. You can see I'm getting same value. I will change the power n equal to 10 and see the value. You can see I'm getting correct value, that is 1024. So it's working fine. Now let's talk about time complexity. Time complexity of this algorithm is big O of n. As every time we are dividing n with 2. So in first time it will be n, second time it will be n by 2, third time it will be n by 4, like that it will go. So we are dividing n by 2 times. That's why the time complexity of this is log n. Let's see if we pass negative value here, n equal to -10, will it will work? And you can see I'm getting wrong value, I'm getting 1. That is not correct. Let's try with small. We know that if we do -2, that means 1 divided by 2 square, that means 1 divided by 4. That is not correct because we are using x value as an integer. We should use float type. So what we will do, we will make some modification. We will change x type to double. We will change this here x type to double, and the return type will be also double. Here this value also we have to change to double, and here we should call and not we should call power 1, not power. And let's check now. We are getting 4, which is also not. What we will do in case of negative, what we have to do, we will add this condition here. If n is equal to n is greater than 0, then that means we have to don't have to do anything. But if n is smaller than 0, less than 0, that means it is negative number, then we will call the same method, but the result will be 1 divided by this method. So whatever value we are getting from here, that value we have to print. Okay, and what we have to do, we have to multiply n with -1. Let's consider if we are passing 3, then you can see I'm getting correct value. So now this value is right. And if I'm removing -1 minus, then I'm getting 8. That is also correct. So that's how I'm handling the negative power as well. So with the same logic. That's about the power of x by 2. Thank you for watching my video.